Okay, guys. Hey. So, welcome to our Zoom tonight. I'm so excited to have Eva Socks and Dawn Cameron with us tonight to help you guys navigate through the changes that Scentsy is doing. We are actually kind of excited about it. There's a lot of positivity brewing around it and how it's going to help our business. So, what we're going to do is we're going to just jump right in and we're going to start going through the changes together. Also after that, we're going to go into 14 life lessons and then we're going to open up for questions. So the questions are going to be towards the very end. And hopefully you guys will feel a lot better about things once you get off of this Zoom. We have had a little bit of time to digest it because we were on a superstar director call where they kind of gave us a little bit of information. And then today at leadership, they let everybody know. And so we thought instead of you guys, asking questions and wanting to know what was going on, we wanted to make sure that we answered everything that we possibly can. We don't have all the answers, but we have some of them. So we're going to go ahead and start with the changes. You guys ready? All right. So, Dawn, take a second. Let's just do this really quick. Take a second to introduce yourself and your team and stuff because my team has never seen you before.
Oh, my name is Dawn Cameron, and I've been with Scentsy a little over 4 years now. Um, Eva is my grandma SSD, and I hit superstar director about a little over a year ago, so 3 years into my journey. So, and then I was just blessed to be introduced to Shannon when I went to Summit last year, and obviously fell in love with your amazing leader. She's awesome. Y'all are so lucky. Yeah, and that yeah, I mean, I could go into all of the things that I've earned and stuff, but that's not why y'all are here. But yeah, I'm excited about these changes. And with life comes changes. No company can stay stagnant. They can't stay with the, same consultant guidelines that they had 10 plus years ago. I mean, economy changes, prices change, everything has to change. And this is just part of it. So I'm excited about the change. I think they're good changes. It's going to be good for all of us.
I agree.
Yes.
Eva just left and came back. Okay, where are you, Eva? She has two of them up there. All right.
I had to pivot.
Okay, hold on. So this one's not you anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
I that one was acting wonky and it booted me out, and so I'm just gonna have to hold my phone and deal with it. But is there an echo now?
No, you're
No.
good now.
There
Perfect.
you go. Okay. We're good.
All right.
Awesome. So I just had Dawn introduce herself to the group because some people didn't know her. Some of you guys that went on the retreat last year, you got to be with her amazing team, and Dawn wasn't able to be there with us because she had hip surgery, right?
Yes.
So I hope you guys get to meet her. She's pretty amazing. And then Eva, you just want to do a real quick introduction just in case some people don't know who you are?
Sure. Hi, my name's Eva Socks. I am in Pennsylvania, getting ready to hit my 14th year since the anniversary in March. Um, that's about it. Anything else? I don't know what you guys went over because I wasn't on here.
Oh,
I told
it's
them you were
okay.
my grandma SSD.
I'm the grandma. Yeah, I'm grandma. But we all become friends. We all learn from each other.
Yep.
Yeah, we blend well together. It's great.
Yep.
So now that we've got everybody introduced, and a lot of you guys know each other, we are going to jump in. So let me just share the screen and we'll start. Okay. So like I said, Cincy has put some changes out and we're just going to jump right in and say, all right, point number one. Why are we changing up our bundle and save program? I know a lot of people have been messaging me about that. And so we put the answers here, at least what we believe. And then Eva and Dawn are going to share something on their end. But why are we changing up the bundle and save program? Well, simply because it got complicated. One of our core values in the DNA system of Scentsy has been our bundle and save. But some of our customers are still missing savings because they don't ever know whether they're available or not. And this is actually going to solve that. We're still going to have the buy five, get one free available. It's just going to be that we as consultants are going to have to enter it for them versus them getting it on the website. It's going to open up a dialogue between you and your customer, and it's going to offer you the opportunity to be able to follow up with them. Because a lot of people don't follow up. I mean, since he just told us, we had a retreat and Orville and Heidi spoke with us, and they gave permission to say that there's 60% of customers that aren't even followed up on. And because of that, they are seeing that decline. So it's up to us to be able to get our follow-up systems going on. Hey, you want to get the buy five, get one free? I can put it in for you. I still have you. So that's one of the points. Dawn, do you want to go ahead and share?
I think that is one of the biggest reasons from what I understood from the SSD call last week. And of course, what I preach to my girls, something that has just built my business, its foundation is relationships, and that's giving you the opportunity and the platform to have that one-on-one connection with your customer that clicking on a website didn't get you before. It's building those relationships, looking out for your customers, just no different than when you present club to them. You're trying to help them save money, and you have to have that one-on-one conversation with them to do that. At least I do. I have those organic conversations daily with my customers. I'm very transparent with them. I let them know that I'm making less commission when you go to club, but I want you to save money, right? And this is no different. So it's that platform, it's that door that's opening for you to build that relationship. So I think it's a win.
Okay, Eva?
So am I correct with saying that it's only the buy five, get one free bars, correct? That we can do for them in the workstation?
That's what we were told, I
Yeah.
believe. So, yeah.
So all the other buy five, get one free, like when it was with room sprays and all that, that doesn't apply when
Okay.
we enter orders in.
You keep talking. I'm going to look at the
That's what we
workstation.
were, that's what I
Right.
understood,
I
but
just
we're
want to make
looking
sure
it
they
up to
know.
make
I just
sure.
want to make sure that everybody knows that. I mean, that's what I was under the
That's what we're
understanding.
understood. Yeah.
Yes. So my perspective on that is this. And like Dawn was saying, people go to the website, they just buy. Sometimes they didn't even know that we could do okay, thank you, Michelle, that they could even do the buy five, get one free, right? But here's the thing. When they go to the website and they just buy, they're buying. And then you see like, oh, they bought 2 pods. And if they bought 3, they could have saved $1, whatever, right? So
Right.
like, or if you like Luna in this scent, you could have got it in laundry care too, whatever. So when you are letting your customers know that you can put this order in for them and get these bars, it's open up that opportunity to have the conversation. Like, oh, you want, some people will order 12 bars, 15 bars, whatever. You know what? Why don't you let me make you a shopping link, and I'll go ahead and order these for you in your link, and it's going to go towards Hostess rewards. And over time, over the next 3 months, you can build rewards and get some things for free and half off. Like they don't know that when they're just going in there. I mean, they don't see everything. So you could actually do that for them. They were going to pay shipping anyway. They're still going to pay shipping,
Mhm.
and you can attach it to a party. You can have hosting conversation. You can have join conversations. It's going to connect you better to your customer. In the long run, it's going to be better. And when they see like, oh, 10% off, I think people notice the like 10% off when you shop, but not like buy 5. You buy this, you get that, right? And we also need to remember, because I don't know if it's that clear in the workstation, but let's say they buy, you know, I don't know, 7 room sprays, right? They buy 6 room sprays, they're getting 10% off the 6. That 7th room spray is not 10% off. Don't know if anybody understood that, but that's how that's going to work.
Awesome. Okay. Did we verify that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the bars on the workstation.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to let other people in. There's some people waiting to get in. I can't get them in. Okay. Well, let's just go to the next one. Um, so since he has been around long enough to watch, no, this is point number 2. I'm trying to get this off of my screen. Hold on. All right, look,
Yeah,
I'm
I've
making
got
you
girls trying to
co-host,
get on.
co-host, Dom.
I'm sorry.
your co-host now so that you can let people in because I can't do
Okay.
it at the same time.
Okay. All right, good. I got it.
Okay. Can everybody still see it? Everybody still see the? Okay, perfect. Okay, so point number two. Since he's been around long enough to watch many other direct sales companies come and go, they've diligently studied them and they realized the need to make changes before it's too late. I remember going to Summit years and years ago, probably like 10 years ago, where they talked about studying Melaleuca and their comp plan and everything was happening with them. And one thing I know is since he is always ahead of us, if you talk to Orville right now, he's looking 5 years from now. He won't even talk to you in the present moment. He's already looking here because this is where he wants to go and he wants to take us with him. Where a lot of businesses have been closing doors and not doing much for their consultants. I've been watching all day long on the director page. People saying, what happened with 31 and that they're so thankful since he didn't inflate the prices. Instead, they did this instead. So there are all kinds of different perspectives that I've been seeing all day. I wish everybody could have been on that call that we had with the superstar directors to hear it more in depth, but I believe that there's going to be more information to come. And I know now because I put it on our page, and I think Eva and Dawn did too, that Dan is going to have an all consultant call on Thursday. And I don't know what time it is right now. Somebody can put it in the chat. But anybody who wants to find out anything in more depth will be able to listen to that. This way, it's going to strengthen our businesses and it's going to help us all soar and make more money. So we have to trust that they're not going to make changes that are going to hurt us. And they're not going to hurt the company either. So I know it's a lot to ask of you guys, but I can promise you, as someone who's been around for almost 16 years, that they have our back and the company's best interest at heart. I've been through many, many, many changes. We had 150 one time for the party total and it went to 200 and you would have thought that it was the end of the world, but we lived. Then we went from $5 bars to $6 bars and everybody thought it was the end of the world, but we lived. Then whenever we went through the recession and inflation way back in like 2009 and 2010, whenever people can't afford things and the economy is going a certain way, they want to make more money. So they don't just want to go up to Kohl's and get a second job to stay away from their family. Instead, you could offer them the blessing of Scentsy and to be able to help them provide for their family by doing what we do. So you've got to be able to look and say, what is Scentsy doing to help us? And that's where we are. Okay, go ahead, Dom.
Oh, and I'm just sitting here nodding to everything you're saying. I don't know that I have a whole lot more to add to that other than, I mean, if you remember what made you fall in love with Scentsy in the first place. I mean, I think Heidi and Orville are the most genuine people. And when you hear them speak, I mean, she brings you to tears. I mean, I know they have our best interests at heart. And I think, like, what statistically, I know Dan has shared that out of, the other direct sales companies that are out there, we're still doing well. We're still doing well. Everybody's impacted by the economy, but these changes are only for the better. Yeah.
Okay, Eva.
Well, and like you were saying, for those of us who have been around a while, we've seen the changes. The 150 going up to 200 for the qualifying party, and
Mhm.
the bars being 5 and going to 6. Everything's changed. The economy's changed. Things have increased. They're trying not to do that. So they're trying to find a way to make this work for all of us without doing that. And, this is Orville and Heidi's baby. I mean, they swung for the fence. Why would they want this to fall apart? They don't. They're trying to make a plan so that we're going to be around forever. And, there have been other direct selling companies that have went to Scentsy and been like, what's your compensation plan? Like, what are you doing? That's so great. How's that working? He's smart. He knows what to do. You guys just have to trust the process. There's a reason behind it and it's going to work.
Okay, next point. Did it change for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the changes to PRV commissions, annual sales, and party minimums go hand in hand. If you look at them from a common sense standpoint, it only makes sense. I think that I personally am most excited for this because it puts more money in your pocket. And if you're not certified, nothing changes to how you're getting paid. But when you change the PRV needed to get active from 200 to 250, then obviously you change the party basis as well, meaning that now it's 250 to have a qualifying party. To get your 5% bonus months, you now need $2,500 instead of $2,000. And I know that's ruffled a lot of feathers, but Dawn and I were talking about this right before you guys came on. So I'm gonna let you explain that one better to
So I
everybody.
think if you're truly working your business and you're trying to get everything out of this that you can, I mean you're shooting for annual sales, right? We all know from May 1st to April 30th, you hit $30,000 a year in PRV, you get annual sales. That's $2,500 a month anyway, so you should be striving for that 2,500 anyway. So I mean that's always been in my head this whole time, minimum $2,500 a month. That way you're getting that $1,000 bonus every summer. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that? And when the price of, I mean, what was it, 10 plus years ago when they went from 150 to 200, what was our average warmer at that time? $40 maybe? I mean, now
$30, 30 and $35.
30 and $35. Okay, so now we're going to fast forward 10 years later and our average price of warmers are now $50. So obviously the consultant minimums are going to change based on the product price point. I mean, it just goes hand in hand, and I'm honestly surprised they didn't do this earlier than this. Um, yeah. So it's just, yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. But I mean, it's just to me, it was a common sense move. Like it was one of those obvious things that was bound to happen with price fluctuate, with the increase of the products. So
But Eva.
Oh, nothing to add. I mean, this is simplicity at its best, right? I mean, if you have something like annual sales where an average, it should be 2,500 a month, why would you not make that the monthly goal to get that bonus? It's smart. It's good business sense, and it's good for us. We just don't see it yet, but it is.
And Courtney made a comment in the chat, and that's true. A lot of my customers didn't even know that the bars went up when it or had changed from 5 to 6 or 6 to 5. They didn't even flinch hardly. And then like when we had the shipping that changed, remember the shipping change? That was
mhm.
like a really big one for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, well, how can we make this work? We have $10 shipping. Oh my gosh. But guess what? If you get four more people, you can now split up the shipping. So this is all going to be about problem solving. This is all going to be about challenge yourself to be a better consultant and to be able to serve at another level. Okay, number 4. So this is the fourth and final one, unless I'm missing one. But guys, I'm telling you that this is really simply a bonus tip here. The FTC is really cracking down on direct sales companies. So whenever you have multiple parties only showing you as the host and multiple orders coming to you, even though we know that we might get them and send them to another customer, it doesn't exactly look good. Okay? When I told you a minute ago that I think 60%, and I think I have these numbers right, so please don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. And I think, Michelle, you were there at the retreat, so you could probably remember too. But I think 60% of people aren't followed up on. And then 70% of our parties that we have in our workstation are hosted by consultants. So if the company's looking at that, they're like, where are the customers? Where's the back to basics? Where's the parties? Where's all the things that we built this company on, right? Where we have to really show them we have these customers. We are doing these parties. We're going back to basics. We have basket parties. We have home parties. We have events. So that's really important. And when the FTC sees that and sees that we're our best customer and we just ordered $350 worth, that does not look good. So what you need to do is you need to have better customer information in your contacts tab. You need to have more accurate order information, still having it shipped to you, but taking that extra time to create customers within your order. So, like, if you have, we're not going to go into the Hamish thing, but let's just say that you're ordering 5 warmers, you know it's going to come out on Monday, and you have those 5 people in there. You can go in there and actually put it under their names. or you can do an individual order for that person and connect it to that party. That way they can see there is a customer. If you have somebody hosting any kind of party, you can make sure that you have them listed as the host. Every person who wants to buy something from me, I make them a shopping link. They are now the host. And if they go and share it with other people, they'll get the free stuff and they'll get the half off stuff. If they want to buy off of it for a while and that's their shopping link, they are the host. Exciting updates and things are going to come around this topic that since he's working on, that's why they have like the new Spark things that you can sign up for. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Scentsy is looking out for us so that we won't get closed down from another source. Go ahead, Dawn.
Yeah, I was reading what Michelle said about getting complacent with Project Broadcast and all the automated follow-up things. And she's changing things up this year and working on building relationships. And I can't agree with that more. I can't agree with that more, which is why when I signed up for Project Broadcast a few years ago, I didn't dive into all the campaigns and the drip campaigns because I knew for me, I was going to lose that personal touch. I wanted, like, if I got an automated text back, I wanted to know what that was for so I can have that personal relationship with your customers. And when everything's automated, you can't have that. But I'm all about partying. I think at any given time, and right now I have 15 different shopping links open on my under open parties. I have 3 parties going right now, a fundraiser, and I'm starting 4 more parties on Thursday. I will always party. So, I mean, that's how you're going to grow your circle. That's that. Yeah, you never get complacent. Grow your customer base. Party, party, party. We are a party company. So, however you need to do that, in-home parties, basket parties, personal shopping links. Just remember the core of the company. It's a party company. Buy, host, join.
Right. Okay, Eva.
And if you listen to anything, listen to everything that Dawn just said. This is why she hit superstar director in how long did it take, Dawn?
3 years.
3 years. She is always an annual sales earner, annual mentor, and top 50 trip earner. If you're not watching what she's doing, you should be. And if you're on her team, you're lucky as hell. I'm just telling you. I wish I was on her team. I learned all the things from Dawn. I learned a lot, but I don't do everything she does. If I was more intentional like Dawn, I would be better. But yeah, if you're not talking to people, nothing's going to happen. And if you're doing nothing, nothing's going to happen, right? This whole thing here, I'm trying to look back at this note here, Shannon, on your screen. So Courtney, she's in here. She's a superstar director too with us. Scentsy Connect. If you guys don't have that, you should have it. You should go in there and look at it because there was a place like, I ordered because I wanted to make sure I got all my Hamish weighted buddies. I literally just went in and did it in my workstation under an individual order, and I was like 6 scent packs out, right? But I want to connect those to the people who bought them, and you can do that. Where we used to not be able to, but now you can do that. That way, if you go back and you want to search, who ordered what or whatever, it's in there, especially too with Scentsy, with returning products if something's damaged, whatever, right? It's better to do that. And back to Michelle, talking about personal connections. Patients. I'm at the dental office. Customers love the personal connection that you make with them, handwritten notes, things like that. Mm-hmm. And just reaching out one-on-one, addressing them personally.
And I'll tell you, I've done 2 events since Christmas already, and I have sold the mess out of big warmers. It was like from October to December, I didn't hardly sell big warmers. I was doing everything like $30 and less because everybody was buying for everybody else, right? And they had like a certain budget. But the last 2 events, I have sold like 15 big warmers. And people have signed up to do basket parties because they don't want to pay $60 for this warmer. They want to earn it free and half off. So I'm telling you, I'm doing the same thing that I did 15 years ago whenever I joined almost 16 years ago. That still works. So whenever you're thinking, okay, this new thing here, this might be better, but if what you have done in the past has always worked, don't fix something that isn't broke. And I realized I was trying to fix so many things that weren't broke in my life to where I started automating myself almost out of business because I was losing that relationship building. And my team has heard this before. But the most important thing for you to do is to relationship build, and you will make it through anything in this business.
Mhm.
So, okay. So, anything else, guys, on these? Did we miss anything? All right. So, we're going to move over to the next part, which is going to be 14 life and business lessons. And I heard this a while back, and it really changed my life. And I thought if anybody needs to hear something in 2025, especially with all of the changes coming, it's definitely me again. And so I decided I wanted to share it with you guys. And I'm going to have, like, whenever Dawn and Eva hear something, you just pipe in, and if it resonates with you, because we have 30 minutes left and I want to be respectful for your time. But the first thing that you need to do going into 2025 is audit your inner circle. I had to do that today. I was in a group with a bunch of people that did nothing but negative Nelly. All they did, bam, 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 five, six things in a row about Scentsy and how they're going to quit or how this or how that's going to happen. Guess what I did? I left the group. I left the group. I was like, I'm auditing my inner circle. I want you to think about something, and you've probably heard this before, and it's that you are the sum of the five people that you hang out with. And if you're hanging out with a bunch of negative people, then you're probably not in a really good group. Um, I guess one thing that really was put in my heart is that some people are around other people, and you have to make excuses for your success. And I did that for a long time too, where I'd be like, oh, I know that I'm getting older, but since he's still working for me. Or, oh, I know I don't really know how to do the Facebook parties, but I can do this. Because there was always someone else saying, oh, you still dreaming? Are you still, trying to reach those things, trying to talk me out of it? And I would make excuses. And I found myself even doing it with like other things in my life because I was worried about either hurting their feelings or I was making their thoughts, I was capturing their thoughts and putting them on me. And so I had to start really questioning myself because, we were born to shine a light. And when someone is dimming your light and dimming your glow, that is when they got to go. I have gone through so many years of trying to be a better leader, be a better consultant, a better mom, a better wife, whatever it is. And so I'm not Shannon 1.0 anymore. I'm Shannon like 6.0. And I'm getting ready to go into like Shannon 7.0 because I'm going to do these 14 things that's going to help me be a better me. So one thing I want to say is if you're here tonight, I'm really proud of you because that's one thing that you can do is to shine your light, is to show up to things to help you become a better person. Um, I think the first thing that I did whenever since he started growing and started really taking more of my, not my time, but it became a priority to me, was I had a friend that said, so how many more people do you think it's going to take for it to be enough? And I was like, enough what? I'm like, for it to be enough, I don't know how long you're going to do this. And I'm like, I don't know. How many people do you think is enough to continue to bless their life and change it? Where would you put that, that number? There's not a number. I'm going to keep doing it. And those kind of people that were trying to hold me back from my potential, I had to start auditing my inner circle. So that's one thing I want to tell you is that look at your circle and try and figure out who is trying to wear your prescription glasses. Because God gave you a dream and he put it in you. And it's just like Trent Shelton has this thing about glasses. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but everybody has their own prescription. So if I take Eva's glasses off and I put them on me, I might not be able to see through them, or I might, be able to, they might be blurry. That is because her dreams might not be my dreams. And so when somebody's trying to take your glasses off and put them on them and then give you advice through looking through your prescription that's not for them, then that is a time that is time to audit your inner circle. Okay? So that's number one. And do you guys have anything to share on that?
Well, I do have a quick little, if anything I ever say is quick, then I'm surprised. But back when I was a star director, I was grateful that I got added to a group with other star directors. Shannon, I know you probably know the name of that group. I don't know if they're still around or not. But at the time, I felt good because I got added to this group with other star directors, and we were all going to try to become superstar directors, right? We were going to help each other out. And all that was happening was the complaining about what they didn't get. And superstar directors get to do this and that, and they have summit and we don't. And it's all about what they didn't get. And someone from home office, who's not with Scentsy anymore, we were having a conversation. He said, Eva, you got to get out of that group. It is going to suck the life out of you. Trust me. And I took his advice and I got the hell out of there and I moved forward, and they all stayed right there and they're still where they are, complaining about what they're not doing and what they're not getting and everything. It's just, you've got to get yourself out of those conversations. You know, we all have stuff. Me and Shannon and Dawn and so many of you in here. We could all sit and talk about all the stuff we have going on. But the strong will survive, and we're strong. Like, we've been through things, right? We can all make excuses or we can make it happen. It's all about what you want. Dawn and I had this conversation today. Motivation comes from within. I can't motivate you. I can try to inspire you, but your motivation comes from what you want from this. And if you put yourself around these people, it's going to ruin everything for you. And the whole fruit analogy, right? You got the rotten fruit in the bowl. You see some pieces, some pieces of fruit are starting to go bad. Take those pieces out. It's going to rot the whole bowl of fruit. And you want to be the good fruit, right? Not the rotten fruit. All right. I love you guys.
I love it. Okay, so number 1 is audit your inner circle. Number 2 is become a problem solver. So a lot of people believe that the more successful that you get, that your problems just go away. That is not true. The more successful that you get, you become better at solving problems. And so if you were to think about, like, for example, could you imagine being in like Orville and Heidi's position, having to come through all this stuff? They had no idea this was coming. 20 years ago. I don't know, Orville might have because he's always thinking ahead. But whenever you solve bigger problems, it's going to help you become the leader you need to be. It's going to help you become that consultant to be able to help someone get something cheaper or to help someone get something free. It's going to be a way for you to be able to fill the gap for what is needed, for you to have those sponsoring conversations, because maybe you're just giving up on someone because they keep saying no, but then all of a sudden you know that their dream trip is to go to Greece. And so then you're like, I'm going to be a problem solver. I'm going to fill that gap. I'm going to say, hey, did you know you could get that dream trip if you do this? So that is the one thing that really stood out to me whenever I was starting to change my business, was that I was just thinking that my problems were just so big. But I had to learn that whenever you're successful and that you go to another level, that the problems that I have are nothing compared to the things that I get to solve for other people and help them. So become a problem solver. Dawn, Eva, you have anything on that?
Dawn, anything?
I know. I mean, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Number 3. This one is a good one. You have to learn to start saying it's on me. There's a thing that Mel Robbins does, and it's basically that nobody's coming to save you. Have you guys ever seen that? Where she's like, no one's coming. No one's coming to save you. This is on you. So the most important thing is that you got to take ownership of your life, of what is right and what is wrong. And you got to stop blaming others. And I had to learn that a hard way because I have not always been a great leader. There were things I could have done so much better. But as I was learning, I wanted to blame things. Well, I didn't know Scentsy was going to do that. Well, I didn't know that I was going to have to send out an email for blah, 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 blah. Or I didn't know that I needed to drop that off. Whatever it was, I would blame something else. But there is freedom. And it feels so good to be able to say, you know what? I could have been better. And I am going to learn from this. It was on me. I've had people come back that have reinstated with me who were under me like 14, 13 years ago. And the first thing I say is, hey, it was on me. I was not a good leader back then. I was learning along the way. So now I know a lot more and I can help guide you. But I wanted to let you know that I could have been better, especially whenever I know I could have been better. So that is something that it's a maturity that happens in this business is learning to understand whenever you're right, whenever you're wrong, what you're doing that needs to be changed, and to be able to know that no one's coming to save you. You got to figure it out yourself. Anybody?
You gotta, what does she say? You got to parent yourself.
Yep.
Yep. And you learn as you grow, and you have to sometimes give yourself grace. We don't always know all the things, right? But we make an attempt to try to learn. Um, it always makes me feel good whenever some of the very first consultants that ever started, let's say the top first five, they're in the superstar director page, they're asking a question, and it's a question I know, and I'm like, see, not everybody knows everything. It's okay. We just try to learn to do better and be better.
Exactly. I have plenty of other points. What do you mean? So I have to elaborate there. Okay, number 4. Who is steering your ship? That is a really big one because I want you to imagine holding your wheel and then you're navigating this way, but then somebody grabs it really quick and yanks it the other way. You're like, what's going on? That happens in your life whenever you let other people's opinions steer your direction and where you want to go. It happens with like the news. Your fear can steer your ship. Your doubts, your past regrets can steer your ship. You've got to start switching to what fuels you instead of what's gonna, keep you from going in the direction that you need to go. And one thing I can tell you about this is that in the beginning, when people were like, oh, it's just a little candle wax business, are you sure that you want to do that? Or, oh, do you really want to go into leadership? Or, oh, hey, that's a pyramid. Or better yet, the economy might be sucking right now or something, and you have these dreams that you want to go do these things. You're like, you know what? This year I'm going to recruit 12 people, or I'm going to, sell this much. And then all of a sudden you hear, oh, there's inflation. Oh, there's this. And you're like, well, maybe next year because you let the economy and you let the news and you let the negative people start to steer that ship. So I want you to look at your life, look at your business, and ask yourself, am I steering my own ship? Because if you're not, you need to grab the helm and start steering it in the direction that you want to go. And I always look at the things that are going to help me get to my goals instead of the things that are going to get me away from my goals. And who is keeping me from that or what is keeping me from that? All right, you want to go ahead? I got them in. Y'all want to add to it?
Oh, well, I'll just comment on this. I think it was Debbie. When she said about points, she said, all I need is 2,000 sponsoring points, earn level 2. So like her sponsoring point, when it comes to sales, you know, we all are kind of in control of this, right? Like she said, saying about being in control of your own ship. You're in control of it. We can't control what other people do, but we can control what we do, right? And we can be intentional. Trying to flip those hostesses, looking to see, because I did this once before. You're not going to know until you look and you drill into your downline. You see that someone's at 800 PRV and they have no front line. Girl, did you know that if you sold this much more and you got to this, you would become a lead consultant? You're gonna, get this pay raise. Your name, you're gonna be able to be found on Scentsy.com when people search. Like you're helping them promote, you're also getting your points. You have to be aware of what's going on and be intentional with it. And when it comes to sales, you have to chip away, eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just you trying to find $2,500 in sales, right? Once I earned a trip on the last 4 days of the month, I had to sell $2,500 and I had to get 3 people to certified. And I did it because I woke up one morning and said, okay, I've got to do this. I have to eat this elephant. And it happened, but I had to set a goal and I had to tell myself I was going to make it happen. And you have to tell people about your goals. You
Hmm.
see, and I have to do it. Probably do it tomorrow. Post a picture, picture of what you have left to go, and you mark it off, and how much less you have to go, how much you sold. You thank each person. You tag them. Your friends are cheering you on. They're gonna want to help you. Put it out there. Steer your own ship.
That's right. And a lot of people don't look at how far they've come. They look at how far they have to go. And you just got to celebrate those little wins in there too. And don't forget to do that. Okay, so the next one is learn to serve and not sell. This one is short because I think it makes sense. Becca Levi changed my life when she told me something. She said, Shannon, if you want more zeros on that check, that's more people's lives you have to change. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh. She goes, this is about serving. This is not about selling. And when you fall in love with something so much, a business, a passion, and someone doesn't join you or someone doesn't buy and it kind of hurts your feelings, that's when you know you're in it. That's when you know that you love it so much. It's almost a disservice not to share it with other people. And the thing that was really important to me was that serving came from my heart. Selling came from numbers. And if I can look at my customers and say, how can I serve them today? I mean, I wake up, you guys know I'm a Christian. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, God, who can I serve today? And I go to bed, did I serve who you wanted me to serve? And I try and move in a servant's heart all the time. And whenever you drop the sale part, drop the number part, and make your people be seen for who they are, meet them for who they are, give them value, which we're going to talk about in a minute with know your ideal client, they don't feel like a number anymore. And I feel like that's whenever they can see your heart. That is whenever your business changes, is whenever this becomes a lifestyle for you to help others, bless others, and serve others than just trying to meet your numbers. That's what I have for that part. Do y'all want to add?
Yeah, I've said before that when you know in your heart that you're offering the products, the opportunity, whatever, to be a hostess so they can save money, when you're genuinely offering it as a blessing, it's not going to feel weird. It's not going to feel icky because you know you're helping someone. How can that feel bad if your intention is in the right place?
Yep.
It
Share the
can't.
blessing.
It can't. That's all I have to say with that.
And you guys, we'll go see a movie. We'll go to a restaurant. We'll get a Starbucks drink and we will put it on social media and talk about how amazing it is and try and direct everybody right to it. Right? We need to feel that way about our business as well.
Hmm.
And this is awesome. This has really blessed me in my life. This is just something I really think that could help you and just feel really good about it. Because that, like I said, whenever you start to have a lifestyle with serving, your whole business will change. Okay. The next one is be bold. Another Mel Robbins thing. You just do it. Five, four, three, two, one.
Go.
Instead of just thinking, oh no, maybe they won't join my team if I talk to them. Go talk to them. And if you're having all of those thoughts in your head as you're walking to the person to talk to them, that's whenever she says, say five, four, three, two, one. And it interrupts all of those thoughts because there's never a perfect moment. Somebody wrote today on a chat that I was in, this was the worst timing for Scentsy to do this. Well, when is the best timing for them to do it? There's no perfect timing for anyway. It's just like my daughter. I don't know when I'm going to have kids. Everything has to be perfect. There is no perfect time. You gotta figure it out.
You'll
You
never
gotta
have
stop
perfect.
waiting. Yeah. And there's a question that I'm going to ask you guys that you really can think about that really helped me change my business. And what has hesitation and waiting cost you? What does it cost you? Because I know I'll see people all the time and go, oh, she joined under her. She didn't join under me. And I knew her. I'm like, well, did you ask her? No. Well,
That happened.
it happens. It's happened to me before,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? So that is being bold. Just do it. Just like the Nike saying. What do you guys have?
No, yeah,
I'm
I
just
could,
sitting here enjoying listening to you.
yeah, I couldn't agree more.
But yeah, so here's the thing. When you go and you ask someone and they say no or they say yes, just reach out to me and say, hey, Eva, I did it and I didn't die. I want to hear that.
Yeah, we're gonna end up getting that shirt, aren't we?
I have one. I have one.
I have one. You had one made for me.
I have one. Yes, I have one.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nothing's gonna happen if nothing happens. Yeah, but you gotta do it. And honestly, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 works.
It
It
does.
really does. And when she talked about this at reunion that one time, I was like, oh my God, I used to do this as a kid. True story. Swear to you. If I wanted to like go stay at my friend Diane's house, right? And my parents were always, no, 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 no. We've known each other since we were 4. So 51 years. I would be in my bedroom and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to count to, I would say I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to, whatever, I got to my number. And when I get there, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to ask them. And they might say no, but what are they going to do? They're not going to like throw me out. I'm 8, right? Like they're going to say no. I might be upset, but it's not going to be that bad. Sometimes they would say yes, sometimes they would say no, but I lived. And I would tell myself, die. Like I would tell myself that then. But it's true. You kind of just like have to, it's like just ripping that Band-Aid off and you just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Okay, so the next one is know your ideal client. Guys, you need to know them better than anybody else. I know so much about my customers. I know their favorite drinks or their favorite candy, or I have conversations with them about like their fears and their dreams. And I mean, I know them because I know eventually they may want to join me. And I also care about them and serve them. And one thing you need to know is your ideal client is really you. It's either the older you. So I want you to think about any kind of problem you've ever had in your life, right? So I started Scentsy almost 16 years ago. I had I always get this wrong, 8-month-old, a 1.5-year old, 2.5-year old, and like an 8-year-old. Now I was a struggling mother at that time. That would have been my ideal client to be able to say, what problem was I having back then? And who and how could Scentsy help me? Now I've got teenagers and they're in all kinds of different things. And if Andy's doing sports, those traveling sports are pretty expensive. So a problem that I would have is paying for traveling sports. That would help me where I am. So look at some of the problems and go to like the worst moment in your life and think, what problem did I have as far as something that Scentsy could bless you with? Was it paying for something? Was it that you just didn't have any friends? Was it you didn't have a community that you could, talk to and be lifted up with? Was it that you've always wanted to have a trip or whatever it is? So know your ideal client. You need to know their fears. I know their goals. I know their worries. And sometimes you can just go into a group. I'm in a group with a whole bunch of people who ride horses. And I would just start conversations sometime. Hey guys, what's your worst fear besides being thrown on your butt by them bucking you off? What is your worst fear? And you'll hear from people and be like, gosh, it's placing fifth instead of second, where that's not my fear. But I'm starting to get to know people and relationship build because no, that has nothing to do with Scentsy. But guess what? Now I'm getting a like, know, and a trust that I can have these relationship building conversations to be able to find out about them whenever they are my ideal person. A lady just joined my team. I'll make it really quick. A lady just joined my team. She was at the gun show and she told me that she did not have a Scentsy consultant. Every person that she contacted to smell the scents never got them to her. And she lived 3 hours away. One day I just went online as soon as Scentsy opened their doors again after Christmas and I sent her the scents. I just sent them to her and said, hey, I hope you enjoy smelling them. I'll get them back from you whenever I go that way, which I didn't know when that was going to be. Well, anyway, long story short, she was going through a divorce. She had the same exact story that I had whenever I went through my divorce. We talked. I prayed with her. We did all kinds of things. I was taking her order and she was like, oh, it's only $20 to join. I've already got like $600 in orders. You see what I'm saying? It's about relationship building. She was my ideal client, someone that I could speak into to say, hey, this really could help you. So that's that one. Do y'all have anything for that?
Nope. All comes back to relationships.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And when you show them that you care about them and you connect with them, not just about Scentsy, and you build that relationship, it all comes back around.
Yeah.
It really will. And it may not happen overnight. One person, it might happen overnight. Another person, it could take years. But you just keep doing it, and it will come back around.
Okay, so the next seven we're going to go by pretty quickly, but focus on the fix. That's what we're doing right now. Everybody sees this as a problem with all the changes. Focus on the fix. It's just like spilling milk. If you spill milk in the kitchen, instead of being, why did it spill? Who spilled it? What are we going to do now? You just grab the towel, you
And
wipe
move
it up, and you
on.
get yourself a new glass of milk, right? So that's what you're going to do in your business is you focus on the fix. You don't worry about what happened. You don't go back in time and relive it over and over again. You move forward. And that is where you will find success in this business. That one's pretty short, sweet, to the point. Um, the next one is say no more. Not say no more, but say no, the word no more. And the reason I want to say that is because there's a lot of gray areas in our life that we probably should be saying no to, right? So the way that I gauge this is if I could just monitor my actions for a week, every action I have, is this moving me towards the Shannon that I need to be in my business as a business leader, as a wife, whatever, or is this taking me this way? It's kind of like that book, The Slight Edge. The things that you do over and over again will move you one way or the other. Am I scrolling too much? Am I not doing this, or am I doing this and that needs to stop? Whatever it is. So say no more to things and you will find out that you will actually free up time. You will actually find a freedom and find the person that you need to be. And one day you'll just be like, who is this person? I feel so much better because you're learning to say no to things that you normally would say yes to. Okay? Do I have anything?
No, I mean, just more or less like, we talk about setting boundaries with other people, but we need to set boundaries with ourselves too.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is the little things are the big things. And this one's a good one because it's the little things that you do that are keeping you from what you want to do. They have a saying that small hinges swing big doors, right? So if the first thing you're doing, and this is Mel Robbins again, if the first thing you're doing is getting on your phone and scrolling in the morning before you get yourself together and figure out what you're doing and everything, that might be one little thing you can change. Maybe you just need to journal. Maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe you just need to take a 10-minute walk. Maybe you did 2 follow-ups today, but one more might get you that person that you've been waiting to join. For me, it's the small little things. I gave up sugar 41 days ago for the heck of it because my husband said he was going to do it and I said I'll do it with you. I have never felt better in my whole life. Just giving up sugar. It was one little bitty change that I needed to make that has made the biggest difference in my life. So I want you to just think, what little things am I doing that is keeping me away from the, person I need to be tomorrow? Okay? All right. The next one is I will persist until I succeed. The word persist is probably the only word in the English language that actually guarantees success because you can fail over and over and over again. But when you persist, you eventually will make it. It's just like Thomas Edison when they were talking about him one day. They said there was 1,000 times that he didn't get the light bulb to work. And he's like, so, why do you think that? And he goes, well, I learned that there was 1,000 different ways that I didn't make it work until I kept going again. So he was just persistent, just like Michael Jordan with the how many free throws he had or how many, basketball shots he had. He doesn't focus on how many he missed. He focuses on what he got done because he was persistent. The prize is not always going to be at the beginning, but I promise you if you are persistent and consistent, you will get the prize at the end. Okay. The next one is know where your focus should go. And I think this is important because you need to figure out where the main needle is in your life that moves it. So if you are doing 2 businesses, what you're focused on is going to grow. What the sun shines on grows is what I remember someone telling me a long time ago. I had a leader come up to me and say, well, I'm doing this business and I'm doing this business too. And I'm like, well, which one is doing way better? And she said, well, this one is. I'm like, well, how much focus are you putting on that one? And she's showing me. And I'm like, Orville told us a long time ago, it's like having 2 wives. You can't love them the same. You can't. So
Mm-mm.
you need to focus on what should you want to grow in your business. And it will just help you so much once you figure that out. Y'all have anything to add on that one?
No, I loved your analogy. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, it's like you want to kind of be seen. I mean, I can tell you, I'm not going to buy from the Pampered Chef lady that also does Avon and Mary Kay and Color Street. Like, I'm going to go to the person that's all in on that thing. It's kind of like the jack of all trades and master of none. I mean, I know it's hard for us to juggle the other things we have going on in our life, but two different businesses, three different businesses, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. The next one, work on the business that you're becoming. And it also can be work on the person that you're becoming. But I like to say something like in the very beginning of the year, I want to do more fundraisers. So I'll be like, I am a fundraising machine. That's what I'm going to focus on. I am going to work the business like the way that I want it to go. Every month, I want to try and have a fundraiser. I know Shannon Warmel was talking about that last year. She wants to have an event and a fundraiser every month. I'm using um your points, Shannon. But that is a great way to see the business that you want to become. Um, I'm a recruiting machine. I am going to sponsor this many people. I'm going to have these conversations, whether they join or not. I know that I can control 10 conversations. So you are going to focus on where you're going to go instead of what didn't work. You're moving forward into the business that you want to become and what you're known for. And I always said that if people don't know that you sell Scentsy, then you're not doing a really good job on letting them know. Like in my neighborhood, I remember somebody said, there's some girl back there that sells Scentsy because I've seen it on her car. And I'm thinking, I've been around this girl 20 times and she doesn't know it's me. I knew I wasn't doing a very good job sharing that I was the Scentsy consultant in Magnolia Ridge. So make sure that you work on the business that you want to become. Okay, and the last one is who versus how. And this is a big one because the how is your capability. It's going to be what you need. It's going to be the groups that you need to be a part of. It's going to be the skills that you have to have, the training, the thinking. You need to think about where you're going in your business. But whenever you change it to who do I need instead of how, that's whenever you can think about like who's been there before me. And this goes back to like when I began Scentsy and I went to my first convention in 2010. I sat in front of a panel of 5 women who are probably some of the best people I've ever met, which is Karen Fettis, Becca Levi, Adie Mitchell, Jen Audette, and Angie Williams. I left that convention wanting to know more about fundraising. I got Karen and Angie Williams' phone number, and there was a thing called free conference call back then. And I asked them to talk to my team of 9 about fundraising. I talked to Jen Audette because she said that if you did $2,000 every single month and recruited 2 people, that you would have a business that was even better than a lawyer pay. I called her, wanted to know more. Becca Levi, messaged her because she had these great big huge pins that she would wear and it said, ask me about Scentsy. I want to know where she got them from and tell me how I could train my team. 80, I messaged her too. Those 5 people changed my life. And that was because I didn't just look at what skills and trainings do I need to be able to move forward in Scentsy. I needed to look at who's been there before me and how can I learn from them. If you take all 14 things like this and put this into your life going into 2025 and audit your circle and audit your business and say, what do I need to do to be a better me? Your business will change at the end of 25 and next year at 26, you're going to have so many praise reports. Do you guys want to share anything or at the very end? Because I'll make sure we're being respectful of time.
Right. No, I'm just saying everything you said there at the end, it was kind of like, the light bulb. I mean, you listened to what they said, but then you went and found out the information and then you implemented what you learned to get results, right? Just don't sit back and listen. You do.
That's right.
And the follow through.
That's right. So does anybody have any questions? Because about the changes, about anything, we're gonna probably go over just about 5 to 10 minutes just to answer questions. But if you don't have any questions, you are free to leave. Um, but if you do have questions, we want to answer them for you. If you have any concerns or anything, we'll stay on here. And just feel free, just unmute yourself and you can ask us anything about the changes.
I don't have a question, but I was thinking when I was going through everything and it was talking about how the buy five, get one free will still be available on our workstation. That would be a good selling point for bulk orders.
Mhm. That would. That would.
Absolutely.
So that's something, I will not lie. When I first started reading this stuff, I was like, oh my God. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, I saw so much negativity on Facebook about this tonight. And I was like, no, this is just a new selling point. This is a new way that I can take and help somebody. Okay, well, I know you can't get that on my site anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and place this bulk order so I can get as many of these as you want in my bulk order. And it's a way to try to show people that you can still help them that way, even though it's not available on your website anymore.
Right. And you're shining your light as a consultant, being able to help them and serve them instead of selling to them.
Yep, you're taking care of your customers, Crystal. That's key.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Anyone else? Just unmute yourself. Man, I'm gonna be blown away if we did such a great job and being able to get all these
Right?
changes and everything, and nobody has any questions.
We rock.
Right?
This is awesome. Okay.
I just want to say I'm kind of excited about the new 250 and them not getting paid at 25% if they don't put in their 250 because we've had too many people join or too many people on our teams, or at least on my team, that they drag their tails all month long. And I see it on Facebook all the time. Y'all, please, I'm going to cancel this month. What can I do to get sales? Well, if you haven't put in $200 in the last 11 months, what have you been doing?
They probably don't
I
even know
mean,
they're a consultant. Hello, girlfriend.
do what?
I said they probably don't even know they're a consultant. I mean, if they're right.
I'm seriously, and I mean, my sales are way down this month, but I haven't been working my business, and I know that. But for me, the 250, and if you put in your 250, you get paid 25%. If you don't put in the 250, you get paid 20%. That should be an extra incentive for them just to work and put in that 250.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth on it.
I agree.
I mean, there are a lot of things I'm not happy about, but that's life.
All we can change is what we can change.
Yep.
Right. And I
The
can tell
change
you
is definitely inevitable. So,
a lot of people out there that don't know about Scentsy. I just had to go to I was going to be selected for jury, and the lady behind me, like during a little break, we were like talking about stuff that we did. She's a massage therapist, and I do dental hygiene part time. And I said about Scentsy, and she said, "Oh, Scentsy's still around?" I said, "Yeah, it's been around 20 years and 14 countries." And she's like, "Wow, wow." That told me she don't know anybody that sells Scentsy. Someone's not posting enough. Like, lots of people have never heard. So don't think I'm not going to plan a massage with this lady, because my goal is to get her on my team.
yeah,
Right? Looking for all the opportunities.
that's right.
Well, at the very beginning of this, I was at the gas station and saw a little girl come. Well, she's not a little girl, but she was little to me. Pull in with a flat tire. And I was listening to the beginning of this while phoning my husband to help me come change this flat tire for this little girl. And she left with my business card. So
Aw.
there's lots of ways to meet people, even in the everyday. So I
Right.
told her that was my business card, but it had my phone number, and I needed her to let me know when she got home. So she texted me and let me know she made it home on her dummy tire.
Yeah.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
it's just being a good human,
Mm-hmm.
sharing the blessing in all the ways, all the ways, because
Yep.
you never know who you're going to impact and what doors are going to open. I mean, yeah,
And when you leave the house every day, where am I going? Who am I going to meet? And what am I bringing with me? Right? That way you're prepared when you meet people.
yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Anybody else?
And for those who may have jumped on late, reminder, Dan is going to be doing an all consultants call Thursday,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock
Time.
Pacific
Yeah.
time. So for us Easterns, it's like 4 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah. As soon as they put the banner up on the workstation, I'm sure you guys will do the same. Create an event in your group page so everybody knows about it. Yeah.
And even though we went over this tonight, like ways to pivot and stuff like that, I think he's going to get more into depth as to like why exactly and how it's going to benefit us and things like that. It's going to be really helpful.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else? Well, I wanted to end with this. You guys, we have to stop waiting for permission and look in the mirror and just say, let's go. And that's another Mel Robbins thing.
Yeah.
But I get up in the morning and I high five myself in the mirror from Mel Robbins because let's do this. These changes are not going to affect us.
No.
So you guys look in the mirror and let's say, let's go. As a matter right now, I know you guys are muted, but just in 1, 2, 3, let's say, let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Well, that's it. It is recorded, so I will send it to you guys so you'll have it to
Thank you.
your
Thank you.
teams. But if you guys have any questions, just let us know. Okay?
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.